You're listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You made it back for another week. And of course, we're glad that you did. We are going to have another awesome show for you. Every week's an awesome show. And I know I always say that. Maybe I'm partial because I'm one of the hosts of the show. But that being said, this is going to be no different, everybody. We're going to have an awesome guest. But before we bring him on, let's bring on my other hosts right now. First off, we have the Godzilla of entertainment, not just in this town, but over the entire world. He's knocking down buildings. Women and children are running and screaming or they're embracing him, depending on his mood. So let's bring him on right now. Mr. Chill, Randy Wilson. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Hope everybody has had another great week and can't wait for you guys to tune in to another great episode here on Scratch the Vinyl.
And then, of course, we have, I'm going to stop calling her a witch. I keep saying she's not really, I don't know if you are a witch or not, but she's the red-lipped lady, the definite eye candy and really the ear candy of the entire show. She's our comic relief and the best lady we know. Let's bring her on right now. Brooke Big Red Johnson. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm wonderful. And yes, I am a witch. We'll just clear that up.
You didn't want me to out her on that, but now that I have, right?
Yeah. So you better watch out. No, I'm kidding. I'm a good witch. I'm like Glinda. Maybe. I don't know.
I should have consulted you on the witchy stuff. Yesterday was it yesterday or no? It was Saturday. Was Record Store Day, and I know that for vinyl heads like us is a big day where people go and stand in line and elbow each other and try to get those sweet deals on all of that. But I know one in particular that I was personally going for, but didn't get yet was the Post Malone. He did a tribute of Nirvana with Travis Barker playing drums, and it was absolutely fantastic. You can find it on YouTube, but they put out an album, so I will have that album someday because it's incredible, and I'm pretty sure that Post Malone's going to front Nirvana in the near future for some shows, whether people like it or not. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, Brooke, could you have done your witchy magic and got me one of those for $29.95?
I'm in the process right now. I got the cauldron out. And I got some bat wings and I don't know, puppy dog tails. Ew, I don't do that.
You need like a black cat hovering over you at all times and all that stuff.
I think we have one at Kelly's. Randy knows all about it.
So we've been having the white cat show up lately, so I feel that's just a sign of good luck. But I do want to throw my 2 cents in. Is that I love Post Malone, and I love that he's been jumping around doing the different genre thing, and I couldn't be more excited about if he would do be the new cover guy for Nirvana and put out some new music, or just revamp every old song they have with Dave Grohl back on the drums.
Well, I mean, if I'm not even going to say if anymore, when Nirvana has their big reunion tour, right, where they go everywhere and they make $1 billion, it's going to be star-studded. It's going to have Joan Jett filling in because she already has on different shows, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, they're going to have probably Frances Bean herself probably come in and play. They're probably going to have all sorts of different family members. I'm here for it. I probably won't make it because the tickets will be outrageous, but I can't wait for a reunion tour from Nirvana.
Kane, maybe you will. We don't know. I might be able to get some.
You have wished some amazing things upon me. Brooke, I need you to make this happen. Please. If it's the last thing I need in my life, the bucket list item. I've seen Smashing Pumpkins. I've kissed Billy Corgan's feet. And now all I need to do is go to see Nirvana play once. I'm sorry, Kurt Cobain, you're no longer with us, but your band has reached such high levels even after you were gone.
It's going to happen.
Well,
can't wait.
Go ahead.
Speaking of drummers, let's bring on our guest.
I can't do the drumming.
That's pretty good. So yes, our guest, we've made him wait for long enough. He's sitting there patiently. So let's bring him on right now. We have everybody, Sean Stewart from Ruminator and also Nebraska Grease and Power. Sean, how are you doing?
Doing quite well. Appreciate you having me on here today. So,
Man, so what what lunacy made you decide to become a drummer, my friend? That's the question on everybody's mind. I
well,
love drummers. Every band needs them. I've always carried my drummers with me everywhere I go, and I would carry you the same if you let me. What made
yeah,
you become a drummer?
my original inspiration was my uncle was a drummer. So that kind of inspired me. Then just, of course, had to play the trumpet first year when we were in grade school, but the second year they let me play, let you play the drums. So I just stuck with it ever since then. Picked up guitar and stuff. I've always been more of a vocalist, but the necessity to take my frustrations out on the drums has kind of always been there as well. So
Now you know our unofficial fourth member of the show, right? Richard Bretta, correct?
oh yes, yeah,
Richard
yeah,
said to me, Richard said, I think this is a quote. He said, Sean's a stud and a machine. So that's a pretty not scathing, that's a pretty good review of somebody.
I appreciate that. Richard's quite a guy. Really enjoy watching him perform as well. So it's pretty inspiring to watch some of these other musicians and what they can do as well.
Well, let me ask you this. I know the other hosts are going to be chomping at the bit to ask you some questions too. The question I like to get into because I'm a musician here and I love asking other musicians, why did you take the path you took? Why, when you had the fork in the road, I used to be in cover bands all the time and then I now do all originals and record. You're in cover bands right now. Why did you choose to go the cover band route? Have you done original bands in the past? Let's get a little bit. We want to get to know you a little bit here.
Yeah. Well, I originally in college, I was vocal music major and did vocal music and radio broadcast. And after I came out of college, I got married, raised a family. And when my youngest was about 17, I told the wife, I said, I think I'm going to go back into playing some music again, getting out on the scene. I did a lot playing at church, singing and drumming and playing guitar and stuff at church over the years, but wanted to get back into the music scene. I was in with, I don't know if you know, Dan Pratt and Bob Esquivel. We had a group called Remember This. We did some originals that Bob had written and some covers. So it was kind of a mixture. And then we had Tenacious Moon was one of our other, that was kind of short-lived group, but did some originals in that as well. So, but mostly covers, I guess I don't have a lot of inspiration for writing my own music. So if somebody else has a good cover song, I'll gladly put some beat behind it.
Well, be careful what you wish for, man. I always need drummers, especially in the studio. I might just hit you up on that deal.
We do that all the time. We get guys together. Next thing you know, we're promoting a new band around here. So I'm just saying. But we ran into you a few weeks back. You guys were performing down at the Rock and Bowl at Matson's. And how'd you think that went for you guys?
I think it went quite well. It was a very interesting setting at first. I was, wow, this is different, but it was great. And a lot of the people who follow us around really enjoyed a different kind of venue where they were able to do some activities and listen to us and kind of, bowl and dance at the same time. And I think they really enjoyed it. And of course, Madison's food is awesome as well.
Yeah, we've been really excited for them because one, we wanted another venue outside of downtown. And so and having another, location on the people come out, and it's just another great venue to try to promote live music. And if you know Sarah and Brady down there at Matson's, because we've had them on the show, they love live music, and we're so glad that this has been a new venue for bands to cycle through every weekend. So it was great getting to check you guys out.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was. We really enjoyed it quite a bit. So I've known Tom Madsen for a little bit, and when I had spoke with him a while back, he told me Sarah and Brady were doing this, and I was like, oh, here's one of our cards. Yeah, and it is great to have something on the north side of town too. So it's kind of lacking in venues that promote live music.
Well, that's where we connected, Sean. I was actually there with my wife and my niece and her husband, and man, I loved you guys' set list, man, with Ruminator. I mean, it was very. It wasn't just like stuck to one thing, right? Which I mean, there are bands for that, of course, but you guys had so many different things. I mean, I think you guys played the Shibuzi song. I can remember that one stuck out to me just because I dig that song. But I mean, there was a lot that you guys had going on, and you guys sounded fantastic together.
Well, thank you. That's the, Justin Brookins run our own sound most of the time. So that can be a challenge sometimes when everybody's on stage and can't hear it from the crowd's perspective. And he does a great job with that. But yeah, it's nice being with a group of folks that cover a variety of decades as far as life experience. So they help me bring in some of the newer stuff that maybe I don't hear all the time, and I'm the old man in the band, I guess. So
I always like listening to where you came up with the name, like Ruminator. Was it like Shaunator, Ruminator, Tequila Nator? Where'd you come up with that? I love the name.
yeah, it's just ruminating. I think it's kind of indicative of what our set list is, because we make you think about what's coming next. A lot of people say that they're like, we never know what song, what genre or what era of music you guys are gonna play next. So, and that's kind of it's kind of like your ADHD band. We're just kind of I don't know, we're just all over the place.
How many people are in your? How many musicians do you have?
There's the four of us.
The four of you, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times bands will have doctors or they're lawyers, and they go in and they do, it's like just a fun thing to do. Some of the people in your band, are they teachers, or I know you guys are a plethora of.
Yeah, I'm a city employee. So, and then Justin and Jenna Brookins they're both elementary music teachers. And then Malachi Million, he is a guitar instructor. He is a doctorate in guitar, classical guitar, I believe. He teaches at a couple different colleges and stuff, does a lot of private lessons.
Well, we've been kind of talking about maybe having some kind of neat fundraiser for kids like that can't maybe afford lessons or instruments, and I might have to get a hold of those other fellow bandmates and maybe talk to them and see what we can do to help with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely interested in investing in the future of music, that's for sure. Ruminator is playing June 8th for Brave Bee, which is a fundraiser for Child Advocacy Center. We're going to be playing for that fundraiser. This will be our third year doing that.
Where's that at? I'm sorry.
That's at Glacial Till.
Okay.
Sunday, June 8th. So.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. How cool is that? And Glacier Till, that's a neat little venue as well.
It is. And it's a great cause. It's the Battle of the Brews. And so, and all the funding or the fundraising goes towards Brave Bee, which is a child advocacy. They help children who've been impacted by different situations and just help with getting them through those difficult situations.
That's a great cause. I am affiliated with them in different aspects as well, and they do some really wonderful things for children, and that is amazing. And I think we all need to go to Glacier Till June 8th and watch you guys give some money to those kids. And that's probably the best thing in the whole entire world to do. And thank you for doing that.
Well, I feel like we have a Scratch the Vinyl road trip then coming up for all of us to go check out a new thing. Because yeah, Sean, we love supporting great causes, especially that is tied to live music. So we'll definitely try to represent at that show.
That'd be awesome.
So, Sean, we know that you're also in another major band, and you just played at one of our sponsors, which is at Gray's Keg. You play for Nebraska Grease and Power. Let's talk about that band a little bit now.
Sure. We're an 11-piece member, primarily focused on Tower of Power tribute band. So, and that's been a blast being in that band. I get to set the drumsticks down and just focus on vocals, doing the lead singing on that. And it's just been great because they're awesome set of musicians there. Those guys they know their stuff. They come prepared. It's some fairly difficult music as far as instrumentation and orchestration of all that and putting it together. And that's been a blast. I've been with them for about a year. Really enjoy that a lot too.
I've got to hear some of you or watch you play or listen to you, some of your videos. You guys freaking jam. It is insane. Like, it is so much fun to watch everybody. And you have all these instruments. It's one of my favorite things to do is like go down and you have, the trumpet and the guitar and all of this beautiful instruments and voices together. And I mean, you guys jam. I mean, you should get your trumpet out maybe and try to do.
I don't think anybody's heard me play the trumpet. I haven't played since 5th grade. So.
Hey, it's like riding a bike. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
Hey, I was stuck on the French horn back then, so I can relate to your pain.
I was clarinet. Let me tell you, I was not good.
Yeah,
Come on, Kane. What instrument were you stuck in elementary school?
They wanted me to play trombone, and I said, "Nah, I'm going to play football." No thanks.
The teacher came around and she's like, "You have the lips to play flute." And I'm like, "I'm not playing flute. I'll play trumpet."
At least she didn't say piccolo.
I had a hard enough time with the recorder.
Yeah, exactly.
Brooke could probably still do Mary Had a Little Lamb.
I can do the da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. That's about it.
Is that like the snake charmer thing where like the cobra comes out?
Yeah. Where the naked ladies dance. Da-na-na-na-na. Yeah, and then I have a snake that comes out. It's just a puppet on my hand. Okay, no, I don't.
Man, but
Yeah.
you guys have to make some serious sound. Like, you're doing something that's always been a dream of mine. I've always wanted to be in a band with like a bunch of horns and a piano player and, do like Ray Charles tunes and all these different things, but it never really works out. So instead, I just make a lot of noise on guitar and, but I mean, like, how do you guys mic and get the sound going? Or do you even need to with that many horns?
We do mic everything. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty powerful. That's, I wear in-ears because standing in front of all those horns, I can barely hear myself. So, but yeah, I tell you what, playing funk music is that's really where I feel it. That's kind of my passion. I really enjoy that quite a bit. So I've always enjoyed funk and gospel music. Early on, of course, Elvis was very inspirational to me, but yeah, and then a lot of gospel music through years at church and stuff as well.
Sean, I already know that we're close in age, and so I will admit here on Scratch the Vinyl that my very first record, which was a 45, was of Elvis.
Yeah, there you go.
So those of you who remember what it meant to put an actual little disc on the turntable.
With the little filler thing.
Yep, the little filler thing.
Hunk of Burning Love and In the Ghetto.
In the Ghetto.
Well, I spent time standing on the coffee table in my bedroom singing, acting like I was on stage. So.
Did you sing we're in the ghetto, Northeast Lincoln in the ghetto? No?
It was in the Meadow Ghetto.
Me too. Meadow Ghetto.
I grew up in the mean streets of Air Park, guys.
It's a whole different city.
It is.
Oh, I remember I used to have to walk through the Meadow Ghetto to go to Seacrest Field. I mean, I lived in Havelock, and back in those days, parents just like, yeah, Friday night, go walk across town and, hope you come home safe. That was
Us too. Yeah, all the way down 70th Street to East.
all the way down 70th. And I just pick up people on the way. And by the time we hit Meadow Lane, that's when like everybody I knew from Northeast and East High, that's where we'd all meet. And it was just like a herd of us.
And when we would go to Seacrest to go watch a football game, I loved watching the halftime, the drummers out there. That was what I would love to. That's what I was waiting for.
Brooke was a star strutter.
Okay, we don't need to get into that now.
Are you?
Let's
All
get
right.
into it more.
No, let's not. No, Shakira, how she says, my hips don't lie. My hips are hurting now because of that. It's not something I'm proud of. I was like, I'd rather play football, I think, if I could go back.
So since we kind of grew up at that same time, what was kind of the musical influences you had kind of growing up? Let's see if we match up a little bit.
Well, in my household, like my parents loved to listen to Tijuana Brass, Slim Whitman, Elvis, of course, ton of Elvis. My mom and dad had a lot of albums, and then of course went through all the Helen Reddy and all those things too. So yeah, I mean, there was always a ton of different music in our household. And then also my parents were from up northern Nebraska, up by Nibra. So every year we'd go up there on the 4th of July. They always had their class reunions. So then I would go up there and I would have to dance with all of my relatives and stuff. So, a lot of polkas and waltz and foxtrot and all that stuff. So it was there's a lot of different influences from every direction, really.
Growing up in the 70s and 80s, there really was so much different music to experience. And it's one of the things I love about doing this show is that we get to talk about all of it. And I always love getting the different perspectives of everybody that, how they kind of connect to music. And everybody has kind of a deep connection somewhere growing up, or a favorite album. Do you have an album collection? Do you still do a lot of vinyl?
I don't. Once digital came around, I just latched onto that. It just was so much easier. So, but I did have quite a cassette collection where I'd sit there and wait for Casey Kasem to be quiet so I could start recording the songs I wanted,
Okay, hold on, Sean. Okay, we brought this up in one of the first episodes ever, and we had to say, okay, Brooke isn't pirating. She isn't doing these things. But I remember the same thing. I'm like, okay, hurry up, quit talking, or the DJ, but you get it right at the end, and then it's like, and up next is Brian Adams, and you have diddums, everything I do, and you're trying to give it to your boyfriend. Yeah, and you're just trying really hard. Yeah. I did the same. I love that.
The statute of limitations is gone on that. Like they've just given up because everybody pirated music, right? Like made like secret love tapes. Did you make like love tapes to your girlfriends and all that shit?
Well, I married my girlfriend, so let's see.
Have you ever wrote her a song? Like, have you ever done anything for her, like a song, or I know you said you don't write a lot, but I mean, even happy birthday song, all sexy, all that.
I do it for my grandkids all the time. So I'll pick up the guitar and sing them a little song. So yeah.
Well, Sean, you mentioned back in the days that you got your parents listened to Tijuana Brass, and I have to ask you this because this is a major vinyl thing. Like if you go to all vinyl like collector pages, there's a legendary Herb Albert, Tijuana Brass. It's what is it? Whipped Cream and Other Delights. Did you guys ever have? I mean, it's the famous Green album. You can find it at every thrift store and garage sale. Like six.
Yeah. We actually sold that one on my parents' estate sale. So
I just sold it to me. I go to all estate sales. It could have been.
I was just gonna say, Kane, it was you and Corey all fighting over that. I can see it now.
That's classic.
I swear, I literally do though. I think I have at least 6 copies of that. Like every time I buy, like, I get a marketplace or I go to, and they'll sell like a bulk amount of records, and I'll just buy the box. And there's got to be at least one or two of those. I'm going to start making record bowls out of them and artwork because I just got too many.
Yeah.
I do that. I paint on mine. I have them like in different, if I have like 8 of them, but I'm like, oh man, I'll probably scratch them all and then I'm going to need this one again. And it's all right to have numerous ones.
In 30 years, it's going to be worth something.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll get at least $30 from them.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. Thousands. Keep them nice, please.
Kathy Lohmeyer was here. I have a record like glued to one of my side tables. And she was like, is there somewhere I can set my drink? And I'm like, yeah, on the side. And she's like, can I really put it on that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's like not a good, it is a good record, but it's not good anymore. It's the Beach Boys. And I love the Beach Boys. But she's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, no, just put it on it. Yeah, it's there because it doesn't work anymore.
We recycle. Once it scratches, we recycle. Yeah, make artwork out of it.
I was going to say the Beach Boys was one of my big influences too. And the Doors, I really like the Doors quite a bit. So.
Oh yeah. See, we're bringing it out of you now.
I know.
I mean, he listens to gospel, he listens to funk, but he's got this rockin' side to him, man. I mean, the Doors, they are out there, but the Doors are classic for anybody. I mean, even kids just getting into music, you listen to the Doors and it just transcends you to a different place. There's nobody better when it comes to that.
Yeah, definitely. I was really into the Doors a lot during college and the Smiths, and went through a lot. When I was working on some houses quite a bit, I was into like Matchbox 20 and stuff quite a bit. I got into a lot of 90s stuff. Enjoy that. Some of the Rob Thomas with Santana, things like that. Van Morrison is probably one of my huge influences as well.
Did you ever listen to Parliament, P-Funk with George Clinton? Oh, you would love that. Except for don't go to their concert. You'll get super high and you don't even have to smoke anything. But it's fun. Yeah, they're pretty fun. Reminds me of Doors.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, like really getting into the Doors and stuff. Now I think about it. My dad and I went to a police auction and we got a bunch of tapes, in a box and stuff. And the Doors was in there, Chuck Mangione, a whole series with him. And so that's kind of how I got into some of that stuff just by accident where, I listened to this and really took to it. So I really enjoyed when my kids were little, a lot of Harry Connick.
All right. This is one of the best parts of the show, so don't skip it. I've warned you before and I'll warn you again. I will show up and I will talk about these sponsors to you and I will shout the local roundup to you and tell you all the great things that are happening in this fine town we call home. So stick around. We've got the Elegant Sasquatch commercial and then we'll do the local roundup. We'll talk about the people, places, and things that keep the lights on here and keep things going with this show. And then we'll get back to our interview with our guest, Sean Stewart. Welcome to the Late Late Show with your host, Squatch.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We have a controversial guest tonight. He claims to have the world's smelliest beard and doesn't plan to do anything about it in the foreseeable future. Let's bring him on right now. He wants to be brought on by what he goes by on his socials, Toxic Beard 87.
Hey, calm down. Don't hate the smells of it sells.
Hello, my toxic friend. Let me ask you something. With brands like the Elegant Sasquatch Beard Company, why do you choose to smell like a rotten egg on Easter?
It all started when I was 16 years old. My beard was growing like a forest full of pine trees, and it was time for me to find a delicious scent to make Cindy Jo fall in love with me. I found a beard oil in a store, and I thought for sure she was going to be mine. I caked it on, and I was so proud of the way I smelled and how I looked. As soon as I saw Cindy Jo, I went running over to her, but instead of her embracing me and taking me in, she told me to go away and told me I smelled terrible. It was the worst day of my life. It was right then that I vowed that I would never put another product in my beard again. And so here I am, Toxic Beard Guy 87, and I'm not going anywhere.
Well, if I'd gone through that, it'd been tough for me to show my face again, too. But luckily, there's companies like the Elegant Sasquatch Beard Company that have multiple products that'll have girls like Cindy Jo melting in the palm of your hand.
Sasquatch, do you really think that there's a product for me?
Yes, my friend. There are beard balms, beard oils, beard butters, and beard washes that will make your whiskers the talk of the town. You'll be smelling like a dozen roses, and you'll be looking the best you've ever looked.
I would give anything to get Cindy Joe to talk to me just once again. Where can I get this amazing product?
Head on over to ElegantSasquatchCo.etsy.com and find yourself getting lost in the amount of items that they have to offer, including beard boxes as well, with the full line of some of their favorite products.
There's only one thing left to do. I'm going to go over to Etsy right now and I'm going to buy as much product as I can, and I'm going to find Cindy Joe and I'm going to win her over. Thanks again, Squatch.
You heard it here, folks. We changed his mind. Next on the show, we'll have a doll with an eating disorder. Then we'll have squirrels riding skateboards. Till then, head on over to Etsy right now. Tell them that the Scratch the Vinyl podcast sent you.
All right, let's do the local roundup. There's so much going on in this town and the surrounding areas that I can barely hold it in. So let's get started. First off, let's start at Gray's Keg. I don't see anything on Friday on their site, so let's go over to Saturday. Saturday, they have Smokin' Otis. Get over there and see Smokin' Otis. At the Zoo Bar Friday, they've got the Church of the Blues at 5 p.m. I guess Eddie 9-Volt was playing later. If you haven't heard Eddie 9-Volt, check it out. Apparently, he had a death in the family and will not be there, so Eddie 9-Volt will probably reschedule soon. So just Church of the Blues then. Saturday at 5 p.m., they've got Drunk Monkey. That's Sean Cole and his band. They're very good. And then 9 p.m., they have Hanson Airship and Timbuktu. So get over there for that. 1867 has a killer show, quite literally. A killer's confession with Fenton, plus former members of Mushroom Head, Waylon, J-Man, Lil Dan, Stitch, performing the hits, and As Tides Rise. 6 p.m., The Doors, all ages, $20 show. All you kids out there, this is your opportunity to go see some kickin' metal. Get over there. Let's head on over to Bourbon Theater now. Friday night, they've got Bingo Loco. Bingo Loco it looks like it's sold out, but you could probably still find some tickets out there. It's a 5:30. It's when the doors open, 21 and over show. I believe it is sold out. So I think Bingo Loco's coming sometime in what looked like maybe August or something. So try to get those tickets if you can. Let's talk about our sponsors now. Let's first off, American Senior Benefits. Seniors need benefits too. And if you're American, well, then it works out for you, doesn't it? So ask for Jason Dugash. He's the best in the business, and he will set you up. Sly Ink Tattoo. I know you guys are hiding that stockpile of tax money still. It might be running out, but there's still time. Make an appointment. Go see Bryce at Sly Ink and get those awesome tattoos. Roots Music Shop. Go buy yourself an instrument. Get those guitars fixed. Get over there, talk to Ryan, give him a hug. He might at first be a little bit hesitant. Maybe he's a little bit strange about it, but then he's going to warm up to you and he's going to give you the best deals in town. So go to Roots Music Shop. They also have records. Speaking of records, we also have Backtrack Records. You know, I was just in there the other day. I was looking for a specific Smashing Pumpkins album, and wouldn't you know, they had one used there. So you never know what you're going to find at Backtrack Records. Get over there. It's a great place. It's right next to Let's Talk Bowling. You're going to love it. You're going to love going through the clearance areas if I don't get to them first. So that's your little homework for now is can you get there before me? Because I'm going to go there. I'm going to buy a bunch of records, and you should too. So go to Backtrack Records. That's all we got for this week, everybody. That's a local roundup. We once again want to thank our sponsors and everyone that believes in us. And now, let's get back to our interview with Ruminator and Nebraska Grease and Power musician Sean Stewart. What is music done for you in your life? Like, I mean, you know, me, I'm very open to tell people that music has helped me through my depression, right? And playing music and collecting music and listening to it all the time kind of like soothes my soul. but like, what does music do for you personally?
That's yeah, for me, it's a release from the stresses of life. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and actually, and performing really is something too that it's just my wife doesn't always understand it. She goes, "Why do you want to get up there in front of people?" And it's like I enjoy music so much and just want to be able to express that and share it, and hopefully I sound halfway decent enough that people want to hear it too. So yeah, and it doesn't really matter what genre it is necessarily. I I've learned to appreciate just pretty much any kind of music over the years.
Well, it sounds like you love to make people happy, with music, just being up there. And I mean, for me, there's also a certain like endorphins are going, like your neurons are pumping, and there's just nothing like performing, really. And that's something you can't really just, you can describe it to people, but until they've actually done it. And Randy, you get that on a certain scale. I would say even you do, Brooke. I know it sounds crazy, but you performed in different things through your life. And then also, I mean, even being like a cocktail like bartender or something, right? I mean, you're kind of on display the whole time. You kind of get this weird rush, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's it with any kind of perform when you're around a lot of people, it's not that you're performing so much when you're I mean, you are at work, and you're performing just like in the band or when you're whatever you're doing. It's fun in a sense. You get to be around people that want to be there and be around, and you're giving so much as far as like with music and art and all of that. It's needed. And even though I get tips, I don't know if you guys get tips. Do you guys get tips? Maybe the door money, or maybe a little stipend. Yeah, yeah. You have to take your shirt off. The ladies can sign, and then here's a buck. Oh wait, no, that's a stripper. Okay, never mind. But yeah, yeah. I think that Randy, all of us, it's a part of it. It's fun to do, just to see people have a good time, and having people, like you, Sean, that are so good at what you do. It draws people back and wants to keep more and more and more and more. And you're very talented as well, and so with all different aspects of music. And it's not like you're just one guy that went to school to play the tambourine, like myself. Didn't go to school for it, but not bad. But like Randy's been doing it for so long. Kane, you've been doing it for so long, and there is a rush to it. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Even though usually I say something I shouldn't and then just make an ass of myself, but then we all laugh and have fun.
Well, obviously, if I've been doing shows for a long time, and one of the things when people come out, even some great singers that are in bands still like to come out to my shows and just have that other side of performance, even though it's karaoke. It's just to to satisfy that desire to perform in front of people. And I think that's innate with a lot of people. They just they want to share their music, and there's something about performing for other people. And so you find your outlet one way or another. And fortunately for you, Sean, you get a couple great bands with different music to perform. And like I said, we got to check out your show a couple weeks ago, and that was, you guys did a great job, and we're really happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's the something about even not even being in a band, but even in your work atmosphere as well. When you and a team of other people get through something or accomplish something together and just work in harmony with each other, whether it's singing in harmony or just doing your job together, it's inspiring, and it makes you feel good. Just like you said, Brooke, if you can help somebody through some time, whether it's singing a song for them or helping them have a good experience at whatever it is, what things that I deal with the city. Yeah, satisfying.
Well, you never know how you impact someone either. That's something that I remind myself, like, sometimes maybe you're playing to a smaller room, right? And less people, and they seem disinterested at first, especially like I know when I used to do the small town circuit, and you'd have to win the locals over. At first, they were disgusted by us, right? We look like a bunch of wild guys, and we're playing too loud and too fast, but you don't realize that you do make a difference to somebody, especially in all of the industries that we're talking about. I mean, Randy with karaoke, he's been entertaining in all different facets. I mean, I can't even describe to you how many things Randy's a hold of. Brooke and what she does, we're all making an impact. And that's why I think that it's important to talk to guys like you, Sean, because even if you don't think so, maybe you do. Maybe you pat yourself in the back and hug yourself at night. I don't know. But it does make an impact, man. It's just, to me, it's inspiring to talk to other musicians and other people doing things.
Especially those teachers, those music teachers that start from the beginning with children. And I think we need more of that. There's so many programs that have been canceled and the kids don't get to do that, because I think music really helps kind of find yourself, who you are. And if more children had an opportunity to have that in their life, I think that this world in a few years would be perfect if we all could just play an instrument, good or bad, you know?
Sean, can you tell us, is there some good ways or social media that you could share with us, to our listeners, on how to get updates on your band and the kind of stuff that you're doing?
Sure. Nebraska Grease and Power is the funk soul band. It's Tire Power. You can find us on Facebook. And then Ruminator is on Facebook as well, at ruminator.partyband. Sorry, I get stumped on our address sometimes, but yeah, we have, like, Ruminator has, like I said, June 8th, and then July 19th at James Arthur Vineyard, playing that one. Nebraska Grease and Power is going to be at the Aloe District on June 18th. So we'll be at the Wednesday night Aloe Summer Concert Series. So looking forward to those.
I was just going to ask if that was a public show or like a private show, but yeah, they are putting on that summer series or whatever. So maybe that's where I was kicking myself, because I was going to go to Gray's, and then I had that deal scheduled where I was going to be at the Metal Manifesto show, and I just didn't think I could squeeze both of them in. But I am going to come see you guys, because I got to admit, I love me a multiple horn band, so I can't wait.
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, it's fun group of guys, and we do try to tear it up. So,
Well, and I'll probably be at the vineyards, and because I like wine, and two and two go so well together.
Those are the best shows, man. We played Vineyards quite a few times in different bands I was in, and I can remember my wife polishing off like 2 bottles and acting a fool. I mean, not like starting stuff like on Jerry Springer or anything, but she was definitely tipsy.
But it has the guts to go up and start dancing then. And then you start bringing everybody in. I know Jay Martha's, they have a couple cats, little cats that'll come dance with you. I think one has like a missing foot and the other one's like can't see out of the other eye. And it's the cutest little guys ever. And they dance. And then the moms and the wives start dancing. And then, yeah, I get a little sangria. Never hurt anybody.
yeah, the wineries are a great atmosphere, and you get home. I get home by 10:30 or so. So that's the other benefit to them.
That's the best part. It's usually like beautiful too. You're right. Like, I mean, you've got like the backdrop and the sides of like this beautiful vineyard. And usually, not always, but a lot of times you get lucky and it's like like a beautiful day out and everything. I can remember when we played at Soaring Wings, it was just like, it was like a picturesque day. It was like Mario clouds in the sky. It was just, the temperature was perfect. I'm pretty sure we butchered some songs and I was angry at this person or that person, but it didn't matter. We were having a good time. But just seeing people out there like on the lawn and everything, sitting there chilling and enjoying what you're doing, I can't think of anything better.
Yeah, I've done a lot of the wineries with Denise Howe. Her and I'd do some percussion and harmonize with her on pretty much on her solo show, but she'd have me in, and had some great times with her as well. So.
I remember watching Tuna Fish Jones. You know those guys? I think my parents are friends with them. And those were the one where I got up and was like, woo, sangria and dancing. Yeah, so I keep going back.
I invite my sister because she's really good at doing that too. So.
I want to meet your sister.
I guess
What wine does she like? We're gonna be best friends.
I do know Tuna Fish Jones. And in fact, I just got a text last week about they have an upcoming show at the zoo, I believe. And anyways, I'm going to give a shout out to Tuna Fish Jones just because of that. And they're a group that we're probably going to get on the show here pretty soon. We hope so, anyways.
That's when we corner Brooke right then. Brooke said she was there. She had too much sangria. We want to know, is this one of those epic shows where, hey, there's that lady that lost her shirt and was running around nuts? Like did you pull the boob out or anything, Brooke?
I don't remember doing that, but I could have gotten on stage. I think I thought maybe I worked there and I was like, do you need some more wine? Like I had the cat and I was kind of, I don't know, just made myself at home. I think I did do that. It's probably why they asked me to leave.
And I wasn't there to take the microphone away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, yeah. They asked me if I could come back and do my own show. Just kidding. They never did that. Not even close.
We have to apologize, Sean. We've thrown you into a lot of our kind of inside jokes when it comes to Brooke and stealing microphones and taking over shows.
Randy, give me the microphone.
Sure, it was entertaining.
Oh, she's very entertaining. This is definitely why we keep her around. And
well, wait till you get Ingrid with me.
I want you to know, Ingrid came out this last week. She finally had a day off and came out to enjoy a little music. And we know she loves music, and so every opportunity I know she gets to go to a live show, she will go as well.
Absolutely, and she is so much fun to go with too. We are the crazy sisters. But that's okay. We're fun. It's not like, we might accidentally show a tit, but it's on accident because we were moshing or something. I don't know. We don't mosh either. But
Hey, do we have to edit? Do we have to edit that out?
No, because I'm editing now. We're leaving it in. I deem it admissible in court.
Poor Sean thought he was coming on a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
It's friendly.
Just wardrobe malfunction.
They're not mean boobs.
It's anatomy. It's okay, everybody. They teach it.
Yeah. I've seen enough of you men's butt cracks up on stage. I think a tit's fine.
I would argue at every construction site right now, there's more butt crack being shown than anything all over the world. Trust me, I did it. I was an electrician for 20 years and I've seen more male butt than I've seen of anything in my life.
At the right angle, that looks like cleavage, Kane.
Oh, I know it, Randy. My mind is reeling when I see it.
That's so funny you said that. I had a picture of a friend of mine and he was getting up. He was the drummer and he turned around and his butt crack was showing. And I honed in on it and I said, are those some nice tits? That's what I said. And I sent it to him and he was like, dude, they're kind of hairy.
I used to put change down them sometimes. Like certain guys that I knew, I would walk up and I would drop change in their slot. And I'd
Drop a quarter.
The nickel in the Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is how this show always goes off the rails at the end.
My cheeks hurt, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, Sean,
Can't
again,
keep the 12-year-old out of us, can you?
no. Sean, we really got to thank you for your time and coming on the show today. We really appreciate what you're doing, and we love the opportunity to feature you out here a little bit and promote some of the stuff you're doing. And we encourage you to, all of our fans to check out one of your live shows coming up here in June and July. And again, thanks for being on Scratch the Vinyl today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time and the exposure and just being able to get to know you guys a little bit better, and look forward to many more of you guys' podcasts.
Well, we appreciate you being part of this little Scratch the Vinyl journey with us. It only gets bigger from here, everybody, like a snowball. And You know, we've been reaching a lot of word of mouth, and everybody's been kind of picking up on the show, and it's because we're having great guests like this. So thank you so much for being on the show, Sean. Don't be afraid to get a hold of us if you have something else going on. And for the millions and millions of listeners out there, tune in next week for another episode of
Scratch the Vinyl.